Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? We'll give it a little second here and let everybody kick in, and we'll get it cranking. All right, let me clear this off real quick. I've been trying to say hi to everybody so we don't have to do a roll call because I got some stuff to talk about. I'm sure y'all have questions. Um, Thanks, Guy Comment. Yeah, congratulations on your LTT. I think you'll really like it. They are nice pistols. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, Dennis, if you're going to get the Shadow Systems 920, I would definitely get the optic ready version. Like I said, at least you have the opportunity and it's already milled, and they do have a really nice system to put the optics on. A lot of people really like it. Hello, Fina. Hello, Floridian. Hang on one second. But hello, Bagger Bro, A Dubs, Keith Gregory, Dan Marr. But yeah, I wanted to say every time Milkman is out there, but every time I see the name Milkman, it reminds me of a funny story when I was a kid. Y'all don't know this, but I'll go ahead and tell you this. I'm 6'3". My dad is 5'7". My father's 5'7". So when I was about, gosh, 10 or 11 years old, I think I was already taller than my dad. It might have been, yeah, 10 or 11. I mean, I just sprouted up. So as I got older and taller and everything, people, my dad would say, "Yeah, this is my son," and people would look at me, and first thing they said is, "Oh, it must have been the milkman," because, I mean, we look similar, but he's really short, I'm really tall, so I always thought that was pretty funny. So every time I see milkman in the chat, it just reminds me of that. Hello, TN, how are you? But yeah, and that is a great question. What's everybody been buying? I picked up some ammo the other day that was a smoking price. If y'all actually know anything about 300 blackout ammo, this was a local gun store. I was in San Antonio and actually got Seller and Bellet, and I posted it. But I got 220 rounds of it. There was no limit, and it was 17.99 a box for 123 grain. I prefer the 110 or the 123 or subs. I don't like the 150 grain. That's just not my deal for 300 blackout. So 17.99 a box. So I was like, holy crap. Um, and they had it for 20.99 a box, but they had a line drawn through it, and all the other ammo was very well priced. But I guess just not a lot of people buy 300 blackout in San Antonio, and they lowered the price only on the 300 blackout. And I've shot Seller and Bellet 300 blackout ammo. It's actually really good ammo. So I was pretty happy. Hell, that's cheaper. That's like cheaper than pre-COVID. And a lot of people looked at that and they're like, I can't believe you paid that much for it. But they didn't realize they thought it was 556. They didn't know that it was 300 blackout. So I was like, have you been pricing 300 blackout in the last 3 or 4 years? It ain't cheap. So anyway, it usually averages about $1 a round, or maybe like 97 cents a round for good brass ammo. But I think I ended up getting it for like 86 cents a round, so I was pretty happy with that. But Guy Comment, I'm pretty surprised that Langdon had. Um, oh, you said that it wasn't a RDO, it was a God dang it, a God dang, what's the other kind of gun they have, or the other Beretta? Yeah, I haven't used Defiant munitions, but anyway, yeah, for the little yeah, PX4 Storm. That's what I was trying to think of. I was thinking of the name Storm for some reason. It wouldn't come to my head, but I've actually shot the compact version, and it's too small for my hands, but it actually shot really good. Not the LTT version, just the standard one. And I was like, man, in a in an LTT version, that thing would be pretty nice. So super accurate. I mean, I had no problem shooting it at all. It was just that it was too short for mag changes. Dennis picked up some 45 ACP. That's awesome. Yeah, I picked up some more 45 not too long ago. Um, if it's like a good price and it's there, because I have a feeling, you know, not that I, am a conspiracy theorist or any of that, because I'm not. But ammo's starting to come back in. It's just sitting on the shelf. Prices are starting to come down. But if it's something, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and grab it. It's a decent price. I'll go ahead and grab it, but I'm not overpaying for anything. Um, there's some other gun stores that are really stupid priced still. Not in, well, there's a few in my local area, but this, I was meaning in San Antonio. Also tonight we're drinking Hog 3, HOG 3. Good whiskey, not even expensive at all. It's actually pretty damn smooth. Let's see, Bragger Bro for 9mm. I am currently seeing $19.99 a box for brass. For steel, I am seeing $16 to $17 around, or excuse me, $16 to $17 for a box of 50. That's kind of what I'm seeing now. I haven't really seen like any $15 boxes or, $12 boxes like we used to see. My prediction is, even now that it's coming back, I think it's not going to settle around $12.99 or something like it used to be. I think it's going to be like 16, something like that. But I won't pay like $29 at the local gun stores around this area. I've seen it for like 29 and stuff like that, but our academies are having it for 19.99, and that is for brass. But yeah, if that's, if you've got like $32 a box and you don't have any, you kind of got to pay it. But that's interesting. Drinking caramel honey laced moonshine. I picked up at Hatfield Steel in West Virginia. That's cool. Yeah, my cousin actually made. Well, I won't. But anyway, it's apple cinnamon moonshine, and it's got an apple and a cinnamon stick in it. A big quartered green apple. Pretty amazing. I don't know what he does, but it's damn good. Yeah, Lucky Gunner, and I get all kinds of emails. I'm seeing 1,000 rounds. What is it, like Palmetto State has been sending out a thing of 1,000 rounds for like three, what was it, 399 or something like that. And then I've seen it for like 429 for 1,000 rounds. I don't think we'll ever see the $185 or 179 plus free shipping like I used to get. I don't think we'll see that. But anyway, and I wanted to bring this up. We don't talk a whole bunch of politics, but I did a video the other day. I'm just kind of tired of this whole, I'm sure we all are, of the, and the jab jab. Pretty tired of that. But I wanted to find out in your family if you're having any division, like if all of this, vax, no vax, that kind of stuff, if it's causing divisions in your family, or if the politics in general are, I'm sure it's affecting some, but it's, just to let you know, it's really affected mine. We've got outspoken people on this side and outspoken people on this side, and or put it this way, we're more of the outspoken people, but yeah, it's getting a little crazy and a little heated. So is that happening to y'all too? Hello, Lynn Holt. How are you? A big split in the family. Yeah, it's, man, it's crazy that politics and stuff can, like, block families. I've talked to friends of mine and stuff, and they're like, "Yep, my mom doesn't talk to her sister because of this. They don't even talk at all now." And I'm just like, man, at the end of the day, it's just politics. But it's crazy how that can create a wedge, just like it's wedging. I mean, Democrats, Republicans. I mean, there's always been a wedge there, but for like a family unit, it's just pretty amazing. Like if that family watches CNN and the other family watches Fox or whatever, whatever they say, they suck it in like a sponge and just regurgitate it, and they won't listen to a basic conversation or even have a conversation. It's just one-sided, and that's the way they see it, and they won't let anybody else talk. Um, yeah, it's starting to get bad in part of our family, so I'm sure it is with y'all. Yeah, like Tian Starr saying, I have a leftist father-in-law. We are not talking. Um, it's really sad. He had to agree to not talk about it. Stay on good terms. Yeah, and coworkers. I mean, I hear you. It's crazy, man. But that's the thing, and that's what I brought it up, Mike. I'm like, everybody needs to do the homework. Everybody needs to have their own opinion because that's our right as free Americans to have our own opinion and choose what we want to do for ourselves, not what they tell us to do. If you just follow the sheep, then be that way. But it's like if you can't think for yourself and take in all the information and then form your opinion, how it affects you and your personal family, people should respect that. I don't go after, vaccinated people. I don't beat them up because they got vaccinated. I say, hey, it's you, like I do with guns. If you choose this gun over that gun, man, do you, boo. I don't care. But just to be a fear monger and, bring it into the family unit and start just doing all that crap is just crazy, man. All right, here we go. My little sis is an MD. Being completely honest, she and I had our first heated argument today. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It seems like more and more of all of this crap that's going on in the media and the news and stuff like that. This person will hear this person will hear that, and they just think it as the gospel, and they think that it's their way or the highway. Um, I mean, listen to other people's opinion. It's not bad. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Stop believing everything the media tells us. And that's like, it kind of reminds me of like one of those gossip magazines. What are they called? Like those, those like Inquirer or something like that. If it's posted or the media says this or that branch of the media says this, people forget who owns the media. They tell us what they want to tell us or what their, version is. So it's crazy. Yep. It's all about division. And that's what I was saying. Should we just ride at the back of the bus or use that particular bathroom or drink out of that particular water fountain? No. I mean, we all have rights. We all have opinions. We can do what we want or should be able to do what we want without persecution. This is not a Jewish camp. This is not the Nazis. This is not the old school ways. This is America. People need to act like it. The problem is with most people is that they can't make their own decisions. Therefore, follow the crap out of the area. I mean, that's what I've said. There's just sheeple. That whatever somebody tells them, they believe it is gospel. They don't do their own research and do their own homework. A National Enquirer, yeah. I'm just showing my age, Lynn. I don't even know if that thing's still around. I just kind of made up that. Actually, TN Steyer is saying 100%. I find it funny how no one is taking the stance of my body, my choice like they do about pregnancy. I actually brought it up in that video. I said, what happened to my body, my choice? Is it now my body, the government's choice? That's exactly how I stated it. So I brought it up in that video just like that because, and I even said, hey, I remember the days with this abortion, my body, my choice. I can do what I want, and all this stuff. And now it's totally different. And that's pretty much what I've told, the family member that I'm talking about. And the funny thing is this family member that I'm talking about is a lawyer. And I'm like, you're aware of the Bill of Rights. You're aware of freedom. You're aware of America, but yet, so there you go. Yes, they do. Primary Arms has a 12% off for a few more hours. If anybody needs something, they definitely do. Wow. Okay. Milkman is saying his company employs 18,000 people. We're told yesterday we have until October 1st to be fully vaccinated or lose our jobs. Guess I'll be looking for a job. Wow, that's bad. See, and that's where I really think, and I understand, private businesses can say what they want to say and, do what they want to do. However, if you find a thirsty, hungry lawyer, I just don't think they popped out of the woodwork yet. But I guarantee you, I have a feeling that a lot of them are going to be latching onto this and they're going to be running with it because it goes back to, oh, if you want to work here, I mean, just think about it. If somebody was to say this, if somebody was to say, if you want to work here, you have to have an abortion. What? I mean, who in their right mind would say that? So why now should they say if you want to work here, you have to have a jab? You know, I just don't get it. I do not get it. So I'm really hoping, and Milkman, I mean, honestly, you could say this. You could say it's against my religious beliefs, and if they fire you, you can sue them for religious discrimination. So, if you really wanted to go that angle, you could do it, and you would probably win. So there you go. Yeah, yeah. What's the old saying about 1,000 dead lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. I remember that. Exactly. That's where I'm going with this, A Dubs. I really think once the lawyers really get involved with this, you know, I mean, because pretty much where you work, you have an employee handbook, you have all of this other stuff, and if you met all that criteria, and all of a sudden they start introducing things, you know, I think there's a way around that. But I guarantee you, if you use the religious, you will bury them. You will. All right. Captain Phil picked up my first red dot today for my MNP Core. Okay, Captain Phil, which red dot did you get? I'm curious. I'd like to know. Right to work state, right to protect myself and my family in pursuit of happiness. Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. Some states, even if they're a right to work, they also have the right to fire. And they can make up something on you. I mean that's the sad thing. Oh boy. Okay. Well, if did you sign that employee handbook? Because most of them have to sign for them. I know my guys do. So, this is when you could bring up the religious or however you want to handle it. But got a 507 V2. Cool. How do you like it? Have you put it on yet and played around with it? Isn't it interesting that lefties are pro-choice for one medical procedure that will definitely end in death and are not pro-choice for another procedure? Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like if you have that belief of my body, my choice, my freedoms, don't tread on me, things like that. Now all of a sudden you flip flop, and I say it, you're folding like a lawn chair. That's just been my saying for years. If you have these beliefs, stick to them. Don't flip flop. You know, Leaders don't flip flop. Followers flip flop. Put it on, but haven't zeroed it yet. Cool. Well, let me know. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably get a chance to shoot it. Let me know what you think about it. I'm interested since it's your first red dot. And remember, when you're going out to present it, do not stare at the dot. Look at your target. Be target focused and let the dot get in the way. Because when you're first new to red dots, you will have a tendency to stare at the damn dot. And it drove me crazy. All right, Pistol Pete wants to know who has 10 millimeter pistols and what you have. Are you thinking about getting one, Pistol Pete? I've played with 10 millimeters, and y'all forget. Well, a lot of people think that 10 millimeters just came out. A lot of the newer gun owners, they think that 10 millimeter is a new cartridge. It's actually been out for a long time. Um, it had its heyday, kind of, faded down, and now it's kind of on the uptick, and then it fades down. It's kind of just been doing that. It's kind of like the 40 caliber. Um, I've shot them, I've done all that, and yeah, I mean, knockdown power and all that. Doesn't matter what you have; it's all about target placement. However, it's a great round. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just to like depend on that, be able to shoot it and stay adequate with it. The ammo's super expensive or way more expensive to shoot like I normally shoot or someone else might shoot. But if you're just gonna like, hey, I'm gonna go run a box through it and I'm good, then yeah. Or if you want to have it as, like a bear round or a hunting round or something like that, I can see having it. But it's not another caliber that I would bring in to my other calibers just to have another caliber. I would have to have a purpose to have a 10 millimeter now, and I really don't have a purpose personally. Yeah, I've seen the 10 millimeter 97B. I've had a lot of people ask me about that if I was going to buy one. I'm probably not going to. I think it's cool, and I love my 97B. Um, okay, Milkman has a Colt Delta Elite. Pistol Pete is looking at another options, do like 10 millimeter. Uh, did you think you would ever go full on red dot? When I first, well, put it this way, on ARs and stuff, yeah. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was either LPVO or red dot with magnifier or red dot, depending on what I'm doing with it. So that was a given. But when I got into pistols first, I put a dot on. I've already told that story. I don't want to bore anybody. But once I really took a liking to it and I knew that it was for me, even with stigmatisms and a little blurry, I don't mind that. Um, Once I got into it and I really adapted it, yeah, I mean, thinking back on it, I figured it was probably going to be coming for me, that I was going to be a red dot fan. I just needed to really prove it to myself and be honest with myself and commit. And once I did that, there was no going back. So, hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Big J, have you gotten started shooting some F class matches? No, I haven't. Around my area, I have to drive an hour and a half one way for a PRS style range. I've got 100-yard ranges outdoor, but that's not any distance that I want to play around with. I mean, you can shoot ARs there and stuff. But no, I haven't recently. Um, what I find is, I mean, I really like long range. I think it's cool, but is it a hardcore gig that I would want to do? Not really. The farthest I've personally been out, I know you've been out way farther than me. Prior to setting my long range record, I guess, I had only been out to about 550 yards. That was the farthest I'd ever gone before. Then I went out to 1,000. Then I went out to 1,200. Then I went out to 13. I think it was 1,300 yards. I got a video on it, but that's the farthest I've ever gone. I had a chance at 13, or I'm sorry, 1,200 is my farthest, 1,200. I had a chance at 1375, and I was literally all around the target, but it was so damn windy I couldn't hit it that day. Um, so I'm good with 1,000. I mean, that's pretty common, or I guess if you, I remember the record used to be like get out to 1,000 and you were good. Now it's a mile and all this other stuff. I'm not really chasing that. That's just not my gig. I prefer to have PDWs, ARs, 308 stuff like that. I like bench rest shooting, but it's really not a passion of mine. I'll just kind of say that. Big L has a Rock Island 1911 10 millimeter. There you go. MZ says he found 10 millimeter works great for killing paper. Yeah, that's like when I was, dialing in that 300 blackout, the newest one, that 12 and a half. I mean, every time I was pulling the trigger, I was like, cha-ching, 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 because it's just like, and that's the same with 10 millimeter. It's not cheap to shoot a 10 millimeter. If you ever go green, well, you're either shooting a green dot or you're the Hulk. Yeah. I've played with green dots, or well, it was that Swamp Fox, and I've looked through some green dots. I don't think there's anything wrong with green dots. I kind of like them. I did find out though that a lot of the green dots actually pull more power. I didn't even know this, but a green dot actually pulls more power and uses more battery than a red dot. And I didn't know that at first, but it is true. You can look it up. So you could be more apt to change the battery with a green dot versus a red dot. But my eye, definitely when I'm shooting irons or fiber optics, it definitely picks up a green fiber optic better than it does a red. So I'm sure that would probably be the same for a dot. I just haven't found one right there in the store when I needed one, and they had a red one, so I just grabbed a red one. But I'm not opposed to a green dot and trying one at all. Yeah, with prices on guns and ammo settling down, I won't be able to do a ridiculous trade at my LGS. Yeah, I actually traded in, or I got rid of. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but y'all know me. I do what the hell I want to do. But I actually got rid of recently, not too long ago, when the guns were just in huge demand. I actually got rid of some guns and made a really good amount of money because I bought them low and sold them super high. Matter of fact, on one of them, I made 3 times the amount that I actually bought it for. So I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I actually got it. Like I said, I made out like a bandit because it's an in demand gun. Everybody wants it, or everybody wanted it. Captain Phil traded in like 8 guns in the last year. Yeah. I mean, I still have like all the way that I look at it. Here's the way I look at it. And I only got rid of one that can never be replaced, but that's the one that I got 3 times the amount for. I look at it this way. If it's a gun, like a custom gun that I've customized and stuff, I'm not ever going to get rid of it. Any gun I really believe in and that I spend the time and the effort to go through the customization on it, I'm not getting rid of it. So that will be handed down. But if it's a gun that I can walk into a store and I can buy, there's really no reason keeping it. And I do still have some of those. I have actually a lot of those. But I'm starting to think, if it's a gun that I could just go in any gun store and rebuy, there's nothing special to it. So I even have some right now that I'm thinking about customizing. There's a couple of more that I want to probably have done, but as of right now, I haven't. Big J, next time you're my way, call me. We can do some mid range. Yeah, cool. High Point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got rid of a few Glocks as well. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with if you've got plenty of something, like I've got 3 Shadow 2s. A lot of people are like, why the hell do you have 3 Shadow 2s? They're not as easy to find. I mean, there was a long time through COVID you couldn't even find one. People were just fighting over them or charging stupid prices for them, and I could have sold them. I could have sold 1 or 2 of them then. But I really enjoy the guns. So if one goes down, I can actually just pop a slide on the other one. I can take my optic slide off and put right on another one because I have 2 optic ready or 2 milled tricked out ones, and then I have one stock one, but it has a tricked out trigger, so I could easily throw a slide right over on another one. Now, some of the slides fit a little tighter, but they'll still function. Yes, I have ran into that before. It never fails. I try to trade in. I already have a dozen of the same gun on the shelf. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's what's happening now. Everything's coming back. Wow. What is your dream gun right now? Well, as y'all all know, I want the Dan Wesson DWX, but that's not like a dream gun. That's a reality gun. If it ever comes out, I mean, that's something I could just go down and buy. Uh, to be honest with you, and I know this is going to be weird coming from a gun guy, but there's nothing that I don't already have that I'm just completely lusting over. There's nothing that I just absolutely have to have. If anything, it could be like if I go into a store and I happen to see like either something that's really hard to get, maybe like an old gun that I'm really excited about, like a collector type, that would be cool. But anything that's modern right now, like I don't want a 50 cal. I mean, they're cool, but I've been there and done that. I mean, shot them. Um, I don't really want one of my own because I don't have the place that I would enjoy shooting it. So there's really, I mean, I hate to say this, but there's not a dream gun out there that I just would absolutely have to have that I couldn't just go and buy. You know, maybe like a Cabot 1911, like a one of one. Um, that would just be cool if money was never an issue. They've got one at Texas Gun Experience. It's called Good and Evil, and it is a one of one, meaning there'll never be another one made. But it's 10 grand, and I just can't justify spending 10 grand on one 1911. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shadow 2s, I've seen the price on them shoot sky high. I saw one the other day, just a plain Shadow 2, and it was $2,200. Now the Shadow, I know where you can get a Shadow 2 orange right now for $2,100. I know where you can get a Shadow 2 right now for 1650. Um, so I mean, you could email me. You know, my email is in the description of the little video comment thing if you want to. I can tell you who has them. What did they say on them, TN Steyer? Did they say that they're going to be out at the NRA show? Because the last I heard, it was going to be fourth quarter or the first quarter of next year. And I don't do Instagram anymore. Screw Instagram. Yeah, I'm with you. Balding Curious is saying his dream gun is a Kubota 75 track skid steer. Honestly, I mean, I would have like a really nice side by side, or like a Razor or something like that. Um, I've got plenty of guns, and I know that's weird to say, but there's just nothing that's just jumping out at me. Staccato C2, yeah, I mean they're great guns. I love mine. No, Dennis, it wasn't a optic ready. It was a standard one. However, and I've said this, on the Shadow 2 optic ready, you've got to use a plate and then it puts your optic up real high. Like if you use an SRO, you're going to have a gap like that between the bottom of your SRO to your slide. So if it were me, and you can have them milled for like $200, a direct mill. And that's even with milling it and Cerakoting the slide. And you can actually have it done for like 150 at some places that are reputable. But I would buy a non-milled, then I would have it direct milled for whatever optic you're going to put on it, and that's going to be a lot lower. You're going to be a lot happier with it. I'm not saying you can't shoot the other; it's just definitely higher. So that's just my opinion. Will Weld Arm is saying his local gun store has a Shadow 2 in stock for 1,300. They've had it in there for months. That's what I'm saying. Some areas are, they just don't move them very much. But in my area, they sell them pretty well. Yeah, it was on Instagram. They were showing the three sizes, and I believe they are alluding to the NRA show. Cool. Well, they told me that it would be out the fourth quarter is what they were shooting for. And my prediction, and I think I even said this, that they could be showing it at the NRA show, or maybe saying, hey, yeah, giving everybody information. And I could easily go to the NRA show. Matter of fact, I've been invited to the Primary Arms shoot that they're doing the day before. Um, they're doing the Primary Arms is having their event the day before the NRA show, and I've been invited to that. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to go down that week for that. And the NRA show would be a lot of fun. I just haven't decided if I'm going to go. I'm not even an NRA member, but I can get in. Big Johnson, if you can't justify 10 grand for a 1911, then get the 1911 and a pack of gum. Getting two things for $10,001 doesn't sound as bad. That's actually pretty funny, Dennis. That's actually really funny. I just know that for 10 grand, I mean, I would buy like, a tricked out, or just an older car, to like a muscle car. I was big into those back then. I sold a couple of them, and I wish I wouldn't have sold them. I had a 69 CUDA, or excuse me, a 71 CUDA. It was a drag car, and I had a 69 Cutlass 442, and I've sold both of those. I had a 67 RS Camaro. These were all like quarter mile cars, and man, I regretted selling the CUDA. But it was tubbed. It was all tricked out for quarter mile. I mean, it looked really good, but all it had is one seat, and it was completely tubbed, row bar, the whole works, and it was NRA ready. Excuse me, NRA. I was reading his comment. NHRA. NRA jumping to the bump stock after wanting to ban them. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. All they want, and I've said this from day one, they jump around. They'll try to ban something and then they're going to jump on it because when the final decision comes down, and if it's a win, they want to be part of that and say they did it. It's the same shit they did um, for Texas. GOA, FLP, all of them were just stomping boots to the ground in Texas to get all this shit passed. They got it passed. And then uh, Dick Face in the suit, Wayne LaPierre, shows up when Abbott is signing everything and acts like NRA did something. They didn't do shit. But that was the thing also, guns are, I mean, they're expensive. Golf is expensive. However, you get into classic cars and really tearing up shit, doing quarter mile stuff, that's expensive. That's super expensive. You blow motors, got to change heads. And I did a lot of the labor myself. But man, sending heads out to machine shops, flattening heads, flattening blocks, boring shit out, that shit's expensively crazy. And I didn't use any of the cheap shit, but yeah, big bucks. It's not like, he was talking about Dream Gun or $10,000 for a gun. Shit, I spent 49 grand on a complete long block one time. I mean, it's just insane how much you can spend on those. Not to mention the car trailer, the diesel, everything else I had to pull them with, and storing them and working on them. It's a full time job. Super expensive and a pain in the ass to keep up with everything. So, and then going out to the track on the weekends when you're working all during the week. Friday night, Saturday night, we're completely all about racing. Yep, I saw that too. He really wasn't doing anything for him anyway. He was just a name, just a face. But there you go. Had a 442 Cutlass, yellow with black convertible top. Yeah, mine wasn't convertible. Mine was the hard top. But yeah, 442. I love that car. Yep. Fun. Matter of fact, I bought that. I think I bought it right after I bought one of them, right after I got married and did a complete resto on that thing. It was super fast, but that one was a street car. It was a driver. I like that Car Wizard channel. I don't think I've ever seen Car Wizard channel. I mean, that's the bad thing right now, and as I've talked about many times, and if y'all remember, I told everybody way back when, if you wanted to buy a truck to buy one, well, now with the chip issue, it's still going on. Can't get a lot of trucks, with the chip issues. My dad had a 41 Willys with a blower 440. Cool. Yeah, my dad just sold his 70 Charger 440, plum crazy purple, all original window sticker, ground up resto. I did a bunch of it on that car myself. It was a certified car. He just sold that not too long ago, and it was there was 6 of them in the world that matched this criteria. So, needless to say, he did he made out like a band. Well, I mean, he got paid well for that car. It was bubble kept, if anybody knows what that is. You drive your car into the garage and you drive over 4 plates, and then you actually put a bubble over your car, zip it up, plug it in, and it actually will not let any air in the vehicle. And it's a dehumidifier. You plug a trickle charger on the battery. It's basically a climate controlled bubble for the inside of your garage. And that car was freaking immaculate. You would never see another one like it, especially with it had the tail wrap on it, the original tail sticker. So very rare car. And if I bought another car, one of my dream cars is a Superbird. If anybody knows what that is, several records were set with that. Richard Petty ran one in the Winston Cup. It still holds the record. Matter of fact, they actually they came out and blacklisted that car because once everybody started buying Mopars or Plymouths, for those, that was the fastest production car. It set records of over 220 miles an hour on the track back in the day. So, okay, let's see. Question for you: what would you suggest to clean up the stock trigger on my Checkmate, just to make it that much better? East Wind Farms, you can actually put a different hammer spring and a different. Well, you can actually take the trigger out. You can polish it, but if you polish it too much where the sear is, where it meets the sear, you can actually cause problems. So you want somebody to professionally do it, but you can get the trigger a little better with a lighter spring on the top, depending on if you're running major power factor, and a little hammer spring can give you a little bit better pull. And a lot of those springs come in the kits, so I don't know if you've actually played with the springs, but you can make it a little better. We did that to a buddy of mine's Checkmate, and my TSO, I haven't done anything to it, but I've got the springs to do it. I could actually make it a little lighter. The only thing you have to be careful of is if you make it too light, sometimes you will have to have an extended firing pin. So I have seen that happen before. We'll all be living in a bubble, yeah, before too long. That's what a lot of people want to do. That's where freedom comes in, man. Yeah, they actually can run hot on the streets. However, what you can do is you can run an electric fan, even on a stock one. A lot of them, they had the old fan clutches, so you can actually take the fan clutch off and you can run a flex fan on it. That's what I used to do with a lot of them, just run a flex fan. And then on the hopped up ones, I always ran double electric fans where if I'm driving slower in the traffic, I could just wired them to my dash and I could just flip the switch on and it would kick on the electric fans and it would bring that temperature down like that. But a flex fan will usually do that. However, when you accelerate, it makes it freaking loud with the flex fan. But electric fans are the way to go. You'll just hear them go, like that. Hey, have a good night, TN Star. Yeah, hit me up on that DWX. You are welcome, East Wind. But man, there's just something about a Superbird. Those things are super sexy. Hell, I wouldn't even mind having a classic CUDA, 71 CUDA. I'd want it in the lime green with the white convertible top. I think that'd be pretty sharp with the 440, of course, 6-pack. But I would pay 250 grand for that car. And I don't want to spend that kind of money. But anything else y'all have going on or anything else you can think of? I know we kind of went off on a non-gun tangent, and I definitely want to talk about guns. 66 Chevy Impala. Yeah, 396. Awesome car, man. Awesome car. I messed around with a lot of Impalas. What was really funny when I street raced, I'll share this trick with y'all that I came up with. Y'all all know your washer bottle for your windshield wipers, the little sprayers. I actually used to fill up my washer bottle with bleach for street racing, and I ran a hose all the way to the back with an extended washer pump. And on the back tires, I ran Mickey Thompson slicks. They were street slicks. On the back tires, I actually had it split off in a Y, and I had those hoses angled right over the tires. So if I was about to race, I would just hit the washer button with the old vacuum, with the old pump. I'd hit that vacuum or the washer button about 3 or 4 times, 5 or 6 times. It'd squirt bleach on the tires, and I could just light them up and get them super sticky right before the race. Because people would get out and they'd pour all the bleach on it. I could just stay in the car and do the exact same thing, and then I could run my electric fans to help cool down the motor while it was idling. And boom, won a bunch of races with that, and people were like, "How'd you get bleach on your tires?" Or if I just want to smoke them down for the fun of it. Yeah, I used to play around with all that kind of shit. But definitely am a motorhead from way, way back. I just haven't, honestly, I still know how, but I haven't built motors, transmissions, differentials. I haven't done any of that in years. But a lot of that's, once like riding a bike on some of that stuff. What's crazy now is all the electronics on all the new cars. You can't do a lot of that shit like you used to be able to. There's ways to override them, and I've done it on my personal vehicles, but I just go up and grab the controllers. I mean, I know how to use them and all that, ex-technician, current. Well, from, I guess, about 14 years ago. That's when I quit doing it. Yeah, Pistol Pete, what it does, it gets those tires super sticky. That's what you want. It'll make some smoke, but it'll get them super sticky. And you want that grip. Put it this way, I could pull the front tires off the ground with many of my vehicles. Don't like doing that because you always got to land. But you used to have to put a lot of overload springs on the front because when they come down, if your springs aren't good, you'll crush your oil pan. 283 Power Glide. Yeah, we had a 57 Chevy 283 two-door hardtop, black on black with silver interior, and it was an all original car too, Texas car originally. No rust, no nothing. The car was immaculate. Um, my dad had that before he had his Charger. We've been in old cars forever. And yes, all the imports are all computer adjustable. Pretty much you have to tune them. They're all tuners. You can do that on a lot of the newer cars too, but you have to send out your controller and have it altered because the factory puts locks on them. So you have to bypass a lot of shit on your newer ones. My computer's been sent out on my truck and on my wife's car. Yeah, y'all haven't ever seen the other car. We've got well, I'll tell you, we've got a Charger. Um, it's a Hemi, a Hemi. It's got the black Hellcat wheels on it, and it's completely tuned. I mean, it'll run to the ground. It's got 609. It has been dynoed, 609 horsepower to the rear tires, and my wife's got the tickets to prove it. But that's her daily driver. But I can go in and I can code it to where it'll actually run an MDS system where it'll go from a 6-cylinder to an 8-cylinder. You're still able to do that with the way that it's tuned, but it's definitely fast and it's loud as shit. It's got Flowmaster 44s on it, and it's got a Y pipe, all custom exhaust I had built. It's a crazy, crazy car. Batman. But anything else as far as guns or cars or whatever hell y'all want to talk about? Yeah, that's the thing about the electric cars. They are no joke. Regular cars, naturally aspirated, they have to build up power, of course, through acceleration. Electric cars are 0 to full freaking torque, at the flip of a switch, like you're flipping on a switch. And that's what people don't get because most electric cars, I mean, if they're hopped up electric cars, they will blow the shit out of a gas powered car. Matter of fact, Mopar announced that they will have the first electric true muscle car in 2025. So they did that announcement. I knew about it before it was actually announced, but it's supposed to be no joke. You can go on and you can't really see what it is, but you can get an idea of what it is from the looks of it. If you remember the old Roadrunners and the old the symbol, where it was kind of like a pyramid that Plymouth and those used to do, the old Mopar emblem, that's what they're showing, and it looks like a new kind of modernized, maybe Roadrunner. That's kind of what I'm seeing from the way the lights look. They're of course LED now, but it's pretty crazy. The Hayabusa, yeah. Back in the day, I used to play with bikes too. I had a FJ 1200, and I had I don't know, Yamaha 11 something, and then I got an FJ 1200. But man, I quit riding bikes, street bikes, way a long time ago. I'm too damn big for those things. I mean, tall even. Look like a monkey riding that thing. Somebody is building a new factory ammo. I forgot who, huh? I haven't heard that. Yeah, I'd be curious to see who it is because, man, jumping into the ammo game right now, I mean, with all the money you've got to put up front, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Folks on driving on 45 are like driving on the Autobahn. Yeah, you better not be in the left lane. That's like, I hate that, man. I'm in the left lane rolling, and I got that little grandma in the left lane. You will get pushed the hell off the road. Late to the party. What's going on, Big J? How are you doing, Tactical Firearms? We're talking cars, guns. We're talking all kinds of stuff. I don't know if y'all have seen it. Has anybody seen the new drag car that Ford came out with? It's the not, y'all have seen the electric Mustang on the road. That thing looks goofy as shit. But I'm talking about the GT electric car. Uh, it is full blown electric. It runs I think it's an 8.7 quarter mile. That's insane. And that's all electric. 8.7 quarter mile. It is just stupid fast. You can go look at it online. And I got to see the car in person, but I didn't see it run. I just saw the car in person. That thing is freaking very impressive. And I'm not even an electric car guy. I'm an old school musclehead car guy. Pedal Commander? What the hell's the Pedal Commander? Are you talking about those little things like when we were kids? You'd have to pedal those little trucks and shit. I don't know what a Pedal Commander is. But yeah, the electric cars, the performance electric cars are getting insane. They've already got some tricked out not imports. I'm talking about European cars like the Porsche and stuff that are electric that are pretty badass. Yeah, Busa will do 200 plus. I remember a buddy of mine when I had my FJ 1200. He bought the God, what was that bike? It looked like a damn street. It looked like a regular everyday motorcycle, and I want to say it was a Yamaha. God, I can't remember the name of that motorcycle, but man, it was like he raced Habusas in it. He even beat my bike in it. But it just looked like a regular cruiser, or not the big cruisers with all the, the cases and shit on it. But God dang it, man, it was big back in the day, and I can't remember what the hell the name of it. If I think about it, I'll say it. VMAX, yes, the freaking VMAX. God dang, that's awesome, man. I'm glad K24 remembered it. Yes, the VMAX. That thing was no freaking joke. I'll tell you something really funny. I've got a buddy of mine, and he is a horsepower freak. He has a blown, okay, again, a blown wet bike, a freaking blown wet bike. If you've ever watched wet bike racing, he bought one of them. That's how he's got money. He's got 17 cars, and every one of them are performance. But yeah, he bought a blown wet bike because he wanted the fastest wet bike made. He's got a jet boat. He's got all these stupid toys, and yeah, he's all about that life. What's funny is he had, and if y'all remember it, the Dodge wagon. It was the tricked out wagon, the SRT. God dang, what do they call those things? Sorry, guys, it's a station wagon, but it was the Dodge version. He had his all tricked out. His wife was backing out of the driveway, and she took it. He was in the garage working on cars. She took it to the grocery store, and he heard it fire up because it was loud as hell. It was blown, the whole works. She's backing out of the driveway, and his driveway has rocks on it. She hit a little bit of the rocks, broke the tires loose, shot across the street, and went through a bar ditch in his car that was completely tricked out. It was the Dodge SRT wagon. They don't make them anymore, but damn, I can't remember the name of them. The Dodge Magnum. That thing was a beast. His was pushing over 700 horsepower to the rear tires. He spent all kinds of stupid money on that. She totaled it. It went through the bar ditch and got stuck on the other bar ditch and actually broke the car in half. Yeah, Dodge Magnum. Yeah. Crazy, crazy stuff. Give me the best range around Houston area where I can rent a variety. Well, the best place to shoot, it is a private range, but they might let you on, is called The Ranch. It's far, far back of Houston. It's like 35 minutes from Houston. Um, their indoor ranges kind of suck. One of them, don't go to it. It's old as shit, and you'll walk out with lead poisoning because that's where I got it. They don't have any filtration system. Their ranges, honestly, the ranges I've been around in the Woodlands, and about 10 minutes from the Woodlands, they all suck. So there might be, I'd probably Google it and look at it. But one of them looks like an old red barn with the silver top. Do not go into that one. You will walk out with lead poisoning. I'm not joking. It's horrible. It is bad. Let's see here. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, Gizmo, you plug in between the gas pedal and computer, supposed to give you different modes, and supposedly it wakes up the truck. Yeah, we used to call them hockey pucks. They're little round hockey pucks. You can plug them into the BCM or your power control module, the PCM. You can actually, but if your truck is still under warranty, even if you remove it and try to clear it, we could always find out that you had it on there because it actually shows a history. So you've got to be real careful with that. And if you tear something up, they can void your warranty. But yeah, some of those are really hard on trucks. If you actually take the computer out of your truck and have it programmed properly, you won't ever have any problems. But some of those add-ons, they always leave a code. So, yep, that's exact. We're on the same page, Frank, because I have personally voided warranties on vehicles because of those. And it will actually put a code, like if you pull it from a dealer, like you take the truck in and they go, nope, your warranty is voided. We can't fix it. And you take it to another dealership, they'll be able to pull it right up on it's called a function 11, and it will show that you've been blacklisted. So don't do that. Yeah, no, it wasn't in Conroe, Lynn. I don't know about that one. Um, yeah, I never went to one in Conroe. That's not the one I'm talking about. So if there is one in Conroe, that's cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Florida, are you talking about San Antonio? Um, I'm sorry, I thought you were in Houston because San Antonio. Oh shit, what's the name of that one? I'm sorry, I thought you were in Houston. You can go. It's an old one, but you can go there. It is called. Let me pull up the name real quick. It is called. If you're in San Antonio, that's where I bought that ammo. And I've never shot at that range, but it's called Nagels, 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 and it's in San Antonio. It's on San Pedro. And that gun store is a really good gun store. That's the one that has very reasonable ammo. That's where I got the 300 blackout ammo for $17.99 a box. Yeah, in Houston, the only good one is that private range I'm talking about, and a buddy of mine's a member there. That's how I've gotten on. But in San Antonio, Nagels is probably the most popular place, but it's old, so I don't know what the inside of the range looks like. And it's an old building, so it might be a crap hole inside there. Let's see here. All right, we got a couple of minutes, and I'm sorry we've kind of got off on a tangent. I mean, I guess it's good that we've talked about something different because in the gun world, there's really not a whole bunch out there that's super exciting. Is anybody excited about any of the Tauruses or anything like that? I'm not, but if y'all have had any experience with them or something that you'd like to share, that'd be neat hearing that. Um, I have heard the GX4 is having some more and more trigger problems. Uh, and hell, I think Honest Outlaw had one of his G3s brand new. He's never even fired it, and it actually is stuck out of battery. So he's got to send that thing in. Yeah, I think it was kind of cool too. Guy Comment, I appreciate it, man. It's like I said, sometimes it's neat talking about other stuff or stuff. I mean, y'all don't know a lot of stuff that I've done in the past, and I'm not bragging. I'm just giving you some information that I did that I don't really ever talk about. I don't really like sharing a lot of that personal stuff, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to let y'all know a little bit about stuff I've played with and done. Um, I've worked on some projects with Mopar back in the day. I'll share that with you. When the first Viper came out, I had some uh, I had some information on it, so to say. I have not, Liberator. I have not shot the FK Bruno. I think that's a very interesting gun. I think it's really cool. Um, man, I've looked at it. I've looked at the non-polymer one. I haven't seen the polymer one in person. I've only seen it on videos, but I have seen the all metal one, that was like 7 grand or $7,500. I actually handled the original metal one, and I was like, man, this thing's badass. So I think it would be fun as hell to shoot. Um, but I have not shot it. But that would put it this way, and I'll say this: I would rather have the FK Bruno and that round over a 10 millimeter any day, any day. I think it would be awesome. Let's see here. I think today I'm completely convinced AR-12s are a fad. I did see an AR-410 from ATI. It looked interesting. I'm not an ATI fan. I've seen a lot of their stuff. Um, their old or their look, and I don't know about those. I don't know about those. I like Taurus revolvers. Their semis, not so much. Yeah. Mopars are always doing muscle cars. I saw a 426 Hemi, Dodge Dart Sport back in the 70s. Yeah. I have built a lot of Mopar. I'm a big Mopar fan, if y'all don't know that. They've always, those 440s, a lot of people don't know where the Hemi comes from, but it's a hemispherical head. So rather than having a flat head, it actually is domed. So it's hemispherical. That's where the word Hemi comes from. And what it does, it puts maximum pressure to the top of the cylinder and actually will produce more power. And that's where it's known from. That's where it comes from. And it is, I mean, man, I have pulled so, and of course, you can pull a lot of power out of Chevys and Fords and things like that. But Dodge really makes a lot of great, great engines. Matter of fact, a lot of the drag guys, you will see them with a Ford vehicle or a Chevy vehicle, but they're running a Mopar power plant. They're known for that. They can accept a lot of horsepower. Oh, you know what? No, no, he's not my boyfriend. I don't roll that way. That's your gig. New Remington and quality issues. I don't, I haven't. I know that Remington's back, of course, but I don't really know of their quality issues. Remington's always been very spotty, but way back when they made great shotguns and things like that. But honestly, I wouldn't buy shit from anything from them as far as any kind of new gun. I just wouldn't. They have been around the block with a lot of their quality issues. If you look at the R1, it was a piece of shit. If you look at a lot of their more current shotguns, they're crap. Their quality control sucks. Their semi-automatics won't even run. They've been known for that crap. The first thing I tried to buy was a P10C. None was in stock, so the salesperson put me, you guessed it, a Glock 19 in my hand. IBG, that's what's really funny, and I've said this numerous times. I go into a gun shop that maybe I'm not familiar with, and of course they don't know me. I walk in there and play dumb, and they're like, "Hey, can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a great self-defense pistol. I just want to see what you have." They take me straight to Glock and go, "You got to buy a Glock 19." They don't say, "Well, how about you put this in your hand? How about you try it? What do you think of the grip angle? How about you try this M&P? How about you try this other gun? See which one feels the most comfortable." And I'll tell you the reason they do that. And I know this firsthand. A lot of salespeople at gun stores, Glock gives them a kickback. If they sell like 6 Glocks, they get a little coupon, or 10 Glocks, they get a little coupon for a free Glock. I've got several of guys that I personally know that work at gun stores. They're still waiting to get their Glock because it goes on the free program and it goes to the back of the bus. So they'll get it when they get it. Some guys have waited 5 months, 6 months, 8 months to get their free Glock. So it is, and I'm not knocking Glock, don't get me wrong, but there is a method to their madness. So that's why a lot of people will steer you straight to the Glocks, because they do get a kickback and they earn free guns. So kind of like some car salesmen, unfortunately. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast. It's 8:03. If y'all have any real quick questions, I'll answer them, but we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And I appreciate y'all. And if you have any questions after the chat, please leave it in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer whatever I can. And we will do this next Wednesday. I was going to have a guest on tonight, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. So that's why it was just me. but maybe he can be on next week. I won't say who it is, but we'll get into it next week. Yes. Okay. Good question. Is Harry still the best in holsters in your opinion? Yes. Now, I will say this. I carry the staccato a lot now. He doesn't make anything for the staccato yet, but for my P10C, my other guns, I will only carry a Harry's holster, and I'm not just because, I was buying them before I was repping them. So, they're great holsters. He is always, I mean, if he sees something, he's always engineering it to make it better. And his stuff is legit and it's very reasonably priced. If you're interested in one, you can use my code. It's Big Johnson, capital B, capital J. That'll save you 10%. It's all smashed together. If you're interested, I'm not trying to push anything, but I will never recommend anything that I don't believe in. And I definitely believe in him. He makes great products. So, but I appreciate y'all so much, and be safe out there. Keep your family, I guess the evil part of your family or that doesn't agree with you, try to moderate it or step away. It's not worth, killing each other over. But anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. No, that wasn't the guest for tonight. But I'll let y'all know that. But I appreciate y'all so much. Hit that thumbs up button if you would. Appreciate you. Have a great evening. Y'all be safe. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Take care, everyone.